Good day. I want to introduce the heroine. We can say that the heroine is not only of the day, but in general just a woman with a capital letter. The fact is that this is a real heroine. Today, I want to interview a wonderful person. Tell us a few words about yourself.
I'm Victoria. I'm a mother of many children. I have 6 children of my own, and since childhood, I love the kids. I nurse all the nephews and brothers. My mother worked in the kindergarten, and I always liked to communicate with children. I raise kids. One of them is autistic. The doctors always advised me to give it up, but no matter how hard it was, I did not give up. And it's okay. I know it's going to be okay. He's always feeling when I'm nervous, and he's nervous himself. It is difficult for us, but we go forward.
I want to say that in addition to your 6 children, you have taken in children to your family from boarding school so that they can spend time with your family and see what real family is. This is a great achievement. I just want to ask you a question. It often happens that a person has some small problem, gives up, and perceives it as the end of the world. But it is good that despite the fact that you have such a difficult situation, you go forward and help others. Why are you acting like this? Most people don't do this.
Yes, every person has a soul, and it is a soul that gives an inner urge. Something inside tells you that it is necessary to do things this way and no other way. I've been thinking about this question my whole life. Despite the fact that I have a big family, I always tried to help children who are in a difficult situation. It just so happened that these children were on my path. There was a girl called Nastya, and she was in the hospital. Doctors asked me, "Why do you visit her? Who are you to her?" I also helped other children. I tried to help someone all my life.
It happens that we help and do good for others, and for some people it's strange because they do not do so. But thank God there are people like you. I have another question for you. Where do you get the energy for all these achievements of heroism?
Everyone asks me, how does it work? How are you doing this? I will say honestly that only with God's help, because otherwise it's impossible. People can't even handle one kid, and I have this big family. And the most interesting that these children who are with me now see how much help comes from outside, from people who learn about our problems. I don't even know how it works. It's help from above. People come and ask how they can help, and they do. When you do good, people help.
We organized a camp for your children.
Yes.
When we took them, I saw how well they behave, how much is invested in them, and they behave well because they see it in the family.
Yes, they do. I hadn't thought of that before. Initially, my children were brought up like this, but when I took other children, I saw how they were raised in other families. I experienced great difficulties. I had misunderstandings. How can it be? Why were they brought up like this? There were other rules, and often bad rules.
It happens that everything that is elementary for us is absolutely incomprehensible for other people.
Yes, like doing good. I had many cases when a child told me, "I don't understand, I'll never be like this." But when this child sees that I do good and other people also do good, then good comes back. And most importantly, to show the child the fact that other people do good, show a different worldview, a different attitude, love for each other, gratitude. This is the most important thing.
We can say that it is important not only to tell them to be good, but the main thing is to show them by our own example. That is what you're doing.
These children taught me a lot. When I took these children, they taught me to pray more to God, because I understand that every day is really hard. First, these kids never knew what caring was. Everyone pulled me to himself, especially the first day. They all yelled at me, "Mom." The smallest girl immediately started calling me Mom, and everyone was trying to get my attention. And the second day, I told myself, it's impossible, I can't, but thank God I did.
Кто на первом этаже, кто в окно, кто в двери, открой, закрой. И все пытались меня на себя. Я на второй день думаю, боже мой, я не могу, это невозможно. Но, тем не менее, слава Богу, видишь, все-таки...
Понятно. А вот когда вот этим летом взяли в лагерь...
We took the children to camp. Tell us, did they share their impressions about camp?
Interestingly, when we approached this house, Alina said, "I know this house, I love this house, this home is good." Children say only good things about camp. Igor said that it is very good and we want to come back again. The first days after the camp for them was shock, because they are gone from this fairy tale. So the first days they were sad. Igor called me from the camp a few days and told me, "Aunt Vika, I like everything here. I've never seen anything like this. So I'm very grateful to you. I watched the video from the camp and I see their happy faces." Igor is in our family for a month and a half, and he changed a lot after the camp. In general, being at the camp made him come out of his shell. He started to believe in good. At first he was more like a cornered dog, and now he of course is changing a lot.
Раскрепостился, он очень изменился, он вообще как бы поверил в какое-то добро, он был такой, как загнанная собака вначале, как бы, когда мы познакомились с ним, сейчас он, конечно, меняется, очень это радует.
This leads to my next question. The children are in the camp for only a few days, and perhaps a few days cannot change anything.
Может быть, это вообще нельзя изменить, и вообще, несколько дней они ничего не меняют, или наоборот, эти дни могут чему-то научить.
Of course, it changes a lot. Children felt care and warmth, they saw other people, and they not only saw but also felt the care that you gave them in these wonderful days. I tell them, it's very hard for Oleg and Natasha, but they are still taking you to the camp, trying to do something good for you. You should see how they were going to the camp. We packed our bags and took pictures of them near the house. They were screaming with joy, "Hooray!" where all the neighbors heard it, and it was so loud. Our actions are 1,000 times better than us telling them how to act. It is better to show by your own example. The most important thing is that you show children the good. There, in the camp, you showed by example what good is, and that's great.
Это вот самое главное, чтобы мы сами своим примером показывали. Там действительно был пример, и они приехали.
А вот тем людям, которые хотят детей брать в семью, что посоветуете? Стоит ли ведь им этот шаг?
And what advice do you have for people who want to take children into their families?
The most important thing is whether to take this step. It changes the children. I see them constantly and for a long time. I see how they have changed. Second thing, children who have not seen the warmth, they may have aggression. It is the result of improper education in families. They are not developed as we would like. They do not have the right worldview. They are a little bit broken. Frankly speaking, the first time was a big shock because these are children whose souls are crippled, very crippled. They are closed. They don't want to let anyone in. Everyone has psychological problems. They are also children who are not ready to give. Why? Because they are closed like a shell. They withdrew into themselves and live in this world for themselves, closed inside. And when you give them kindness, warmth, they don't even know what to do with it. They don't know how to respond. They don't know how to give, they only want to take. Of course, when the adoptive parents take the child and think, "Look what I've done for you, you owe me," they will not receive expected response. It's not gonna happen. It is a very big work to do for children what is necessary for them and will benefit them without expecting anything back.
Очень большой труд, чтобы сделать что-то для них, чтобы им действительно это было в пользу, можно так сказать.
Часто мы можем просто...
Often we respond the way we know to respond, and they don't know the right way. When people say thank you, for them it is difficult to realize the importance of the word thank you. I think what you give these children is very important. It's like when you plant a seed in the ground, but you don't know what's going to grow. You do what needs to be done. You water it, care, and only after a while you see the result. You will see the fruits. In your case, I see the fruits of your labor much faster because I can already see how the kids change. Thank you very much for your work. That is why I said you are the heroine of our time.
Of course, I don't think that I'm the heroine of our time. It's just so happened that I understand that if not me, then there is no one to help these children. But I also want to say a big thank you to these kids because they taught me patience as well. To see the world through their eyes, to realize that we are all different in this world, and yet, when you're so good, the children will still see and understand. It just will take some more time. They cannot immediately realize it. Here is what Renata said: I can't change, but now I see that she's changing. I thank God that they are changing. Yes, Igor, are we changing? Yes. Here's Igor, living evidence of this, and he's changing. Here, Igor, come here. I'll show Igor. We care about each other, we hug each other. This is our life.
I like the expression Igor said, God, I need patience to get wisdom to learn something. And I asked, why do you need patience? And then Igor told me, I am going into an independent life, and therefore I want to learn to be independent. I see that he understands the complexity of the situation that he will have to learn, and he wants to learn everything and to get new knowledge to help him in his independent life. Thank you that he has you. You are the one who gives him this important information.
Thanks to you too. Thank you for making such a contribution. We were so proud and happy to see the photos. I see that the children are closer friends with each other, and it helps me a lot because these are my children and other people's children, but still, they're all mine. Earlier, some of them were asking, why is mom with other kids? And others were saying, why is Vika spending more time with you? And after the camp, they came back as closer friends.
А так вот в лагере они приехали более дружные. Вот так можно сказать.
Вот, говоря о дружбе, вот у нас такой четвероногий друг, который спас вчера хозяйку.